Good evening to one and all. Today we'll see the topic regarding the company law and secretary practice 2, Unit 5, winding up of a company. So, what is a winding up of a company? So, winding up of a company in general, it is nothing but where the company comes to an end. So, let us see the next slide, which explains the winding up of a company. So here they have told regarding the meaning of a winding up. So winding up is nothing but which refers to the last stage in life of a company, and it is also a legal process through which a company is put to an end. And there is a definition regarding the winding up of a company. So in the words of Professor Kovar, winding up is a process whereby the life of a company is ended and its property administered for the benefit of its creditors and members. An administrator called liquidator is appointed, and he takes the control of the company, collecting its assets, profits and debts, and finally distributes any surplus among the members in accordance with their rights. So in this definition it explains that Professor Kovar, he has given the definition for winding up of a company. Means that it is a process where the life of the company will come to an end, and before making the company to come to an end, where all the properties and assets of the company is being administered in order to provide the benefit to the creditors. Since the creditors where during the winding up, the creditors should be paid off first. So the benefit will be, in order to pay the benefit to the creditors, it is being administered initially. And in order to administer the properties, there is a person appointed by the company termed as an administrator, and he is also known as a liquidator, and he takes up the control of the company, where his duty is to collect all the assets and profits of the company, and if there is any debts, and he only calculates and he finalizes and distributes any surplus to the members of the company in accordance to their rights. And the next one is the methods of winding up of a company. So this is a very important term in winding up of a company. So generally the winding up of a company is being basically classified into two types. The first one is where the National Company Law Tribunal, or it can also be termed as a compulsory winding up, and the second method is where regarding the voluntary winding up, and this voluntary winding up is furthermore classified into two methods, that is the members voluntary winding up and the creditors voluntary winding up. So now we will see the next slide. So the first method is regarding the winding up by the National Company Law Tribunal under section 271 to 303. So here in this there are certain circumstances in which the company will be wound up under section 271. So here the National Company Law Tribunal. So National Company Law Tribunal is one of the method in which the company will come to an end, and there are certain circumstances in which the company will be put to an end. So the first point is where the company is being unable to pay off its debt. So when the company fails to pay its debt, in such cases the National Company Law Tribunal tells the company to come to an end. And the next one, where the company has a special resolution, where the company has been passed a special resolution and resolved that the company would wind up by the tribunal. So before winding up by the tribunal, the company has to pass a special resolution, and after that only the company can be wound up by the National Company Law Tribunal. The third point, the tribunal has ordered the winding up of the company under chapter 16. So here in this case, where the tribunal winding up of the company is being ordered under chapter 16. And next, if of an application by the registrar or any other person authorized, so where a company wants to go under the winding up by the National Company Law Tribunal, the company, that is the registrar, will be given, where an application will be made by the registrar, and it should be authorized by the central government by notification which is being given under the act. And the next point is where the company, if a company has made default in filing with the registrar its financial statements or annual returns for immediately preceding 5 consecutive financial years. And the next point, if the tribunal is of the opinion that it is just and equitable that the company should be wound up. So these are the 6 circumstances in which the company law tribunal, where the company will go in for a winding up. And the next, who can make a petition, or who may make a petition for the company law tribunal, and that has been explained under section 272. So there are certain formal written requests. That is, a petition is nothing but it is a formal written request which is being given by certain persons to apply for a National Company Law Tribunal winding up. So let us see one by one the points. So by company, section 272 subsection 1 and subsection A, a company may itself present a petition to the National Company Law Tribunal for winding up after it has passed a special resolution. So the first case is where a company it can pass its own resolution by passing a special resolution. It may go forward by itself and asking for a national tribunal winding up, and it by passing a special resolution. The second point, where a creditor or creditors including contingent and creditors. Contingent creditors is nothing but where their creditors are subject to change, where their credit values are subject to change, and in respect of the debt which certainly become due in the future either on same date. So here the creditor is nothing but no limit, where no limit will be given to them on whom a debt is due at the date of the petition. So every person having a pecuniary claim. Pecuniary claim is nothing but it is a specific amount that has been fallen due against the company. So it is mandatory for the company to pay that specific amount to the creditors. So in order to get the specific amount and subject to change any other such term of the debt, the creditor can also go in give a petition to the National Company Law Tribunal asking for the company to wind up. That is the second one. And the third person is where any contributories or contributory is nothing but a person who is liable to give money towards the payment of wound up of company's debts. So a person will be liable to give some money towards the winding up of the company. So those kind of contributories can be give a petition to the National Company Law Tribunal asking for a company's winding up under section 272 subsection 1 and subsection C. And the fourth person is where the parties referred to above jointly or individually. So parties referred to is nothing but the creditors and the contributories and company. These three are the persons. So these three can jointly together or these three can individually give a petition to the Company Law Tribunal for a winding up under section 272 subsection 1 and subsection D. And the fifth one is by the registrar of the company. So this registrar of the companies will find anything fraudulent or any act which has been done by the company, it is not right. The registrar of the companies can they themselves come forward to the National Company Law Tribunal. They themselves can write a petition to asking for a winding up of that particular company under section 272 subsection 1 and subsection C. And the sixth point is where the central government or any other person authorized by the central government. So the central government or any other person. So any other person but he must be authorized by the central government. So those persons are also authorized to write a petition to the National Company Law Tribunal asking for the company to go in for a winding up. So these are the 6 persons who has a right or who may give a petition to the National Company Law Tribunal for a winding up of a company. The next one is the powers of the National Company Law Tribunal. So this has been explained under section 273. So powers of the National Company Law Tribunal is nothing but once when a petition has been presented or when a petition has been given, the National Company Law Tribunal, they have to first hear what the parties are concerned, for what purpose they have given the petition and for what reason they have given the petition. And after seeing to it and after hearing to it, they have to give a receipt for the petition saying that a notification should be given to all the creditors and contributors. And after this, a notice should specify the notice which is being given by the National Company Law Tribunal. It has to specify the fact saying that the application has been presented to the National Company Law Tribunal and the same will be heard on a particular day. And after hearing the petition, the National Company Law Tribunal may pass any one of the following orders. After reading on the petition, after hearing of the petition, giving to the creditors and the contributors, within a period of 90 days, a certain orders will be passed by the National Company Law Tribunal. So the first one is where dismiss the petition with or without cost. And the second one, make an interim order. What is interim order? Interim order is nothing but issued by a court during the pendency of the litigation, that is the process of taking legal action that it thinks fit. And the third point is where they may appoint a provisional liquidator. So liquidator is nothing but a person who investigates the company assets and liabilities, and according to it he will settle to the creditors at the time of winding up. So the National Company Law Tribunal will appoint a provisional liquidator of the company till the making of the winding up order, and make an order for winding up of the company with or without any cost. And the fifth one is where pass any other order which it thinks fit and just. If apart from these 4 orders, any other orders, whatever the National Company Law Tribunal thinks fit, it may pass the other orders too, which has been explained under section 273 subsection 1. So with this, we have seen the first part of the winding up of the company. What is winding up of a company, the definition of winding up of the company, the different methods of winding up of the company, and what is meant by National Company Law Tribunal, what are the procedures for winding up of the company, and who can make a petition to the National Company Law Tribunal for the winding up of the company, and the powers of the National Company Law Tribunal. So in the next video, we'll see regarding the other aspects of the winding up of the company. Thank you. Hope this video was very useful to you, and hope it will be beneficial to all of them. Thank you.